Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on a piece of internet magic that you probably use every single day, maybe without even thinking twice about it.
I mean, of course you have, right? We all have. You're trying to sign up for some new service or a cool app, and instead of creating yet another username and password that you're just going to forget, you click that one simple button. And just like that, you're in. But how does that actually work? How can one service securely let you into a completely different one?
Well, that little bit of magic has a name. It's called OAuth. And honestly, it's become the bedrock, the industry standard for secure authorization on the web. It's the trusted middleman that makes so much of the modern internet possible. So today, let's break down what it is, how it works, and why it's so incredibly important.
To really get why OAuth is so brilliant, we first have to understand the massive security nightmare it was designed to solve. Let's just call it the password problem.
So let's look at the before and after. In the old days, if an app wanted to access, say, your Google contacts, it would literally just ask for your Google password, and you type it in, which is, incredibly risky. If that third-party app got hacked, the attackers would have your main password. Game over. With OAuth, that whole dangerous exchange is completely off the table. You never, ever share your password with the app. Instead, you grant it very limited permission with a special, super secure key.
So, how can we wrap our heads around this? Well, the best way, by far, is with a really simple analogy. I want you to think about checking into a hotel.
The whole idea is this. You would never give the hotel cleaning staff the master keys to your actual house, right? That would be insane. That would give them permanent access to every single room. Instead, what does the hotel do? It gives them a temporary key card that only opens certain doors and only for a limited time. And that is exactly what OAuth does for your digital life.
Okay, so let's map this out so it's crystal clear. In our analogy, your master house keys, that's your password. The one thing you have to protect at all cost. The temporary hotel card, that's what we call an access token in OAuth. The hotel front desk, the one that issues the keys, that's the authorization server, so think Google or Facebook. And you, the guest at the hotel, you're the resource owner because it's your data we're talking about.
All right, now that we've got that hotel analogy in our minds, let's walk through the actual step-by-step process. What is really happening behind the scenes when you click that Login with Google button? Think of it like a carefully choreographed digital handshake.
So first, the app you want to use sends you over to Google's official login page. This is so important. You are now on trusted ground, not the app's website. You log in directly with Google. Then, Google shows you a consent screen. It'll say something like, "Hey, this app wants to see your name and email. Is that cool?" You click Approve. The second you do that, Google's server, our hotel front desk, generates that temporary key card, the access token, and hands it directly back to the app. From that on, the app uses that specific token to ask Google for only the information you approved of and absolutely nothing more. And here's the most important takeaway from that whole dance. The third-party app never, not even for a millisecond, saw, touched, or had any knowledge of your actual Google password. So let's quickly meet the key players in this digital handshake. First up, the resource owner. This one's easy. That's you. It's your data, your account, your digital stuff. You are the one in charge.
Next, we have the client. This is just the technical term for the third-party app that's requesting access. It could be Spotify, a new to-do list app, or any website that offers that handy Login With button.
And who does the client ask? It asks the authorization server. This is the big, trusted service where you already have an account, like Google or Facebook. It's our hotel front desk, the one in charge of managing your login and handing out the keys. And finally, after you give your approval, that server issues the star of the whole show, the access token. This is our temporary key card. It can expire, it can be revoked, and it only grants very specific permissions. That's what makes it so much safer than just handing out your master key. So look, this is all pretty interesting from a tech point of view, but why should you, as a regular internet user, actually care about any of this? What are the real, tangible benefits for you? The benefits are actually huge. Number one, your main password is never shared, which keeps your most important accounts safe. You get fine-grained control. Apps only get to see what you explicitly say they can see. This makes for way safer integrations, like letting an app organize your Spotify playlists without it ever knowing your Spotify password. And maybe best of all, you are always in control. If you decide you don't trust an app anymore, you can just go into your Google account settings and revoke its access. It's like calling the front desk and saying, "Hey, cancel that key card."
Okay, this all sounds fantastic, and for the most part it is. But it does bring up a really important question. Does using OAuth mean you are 100% safe no matter what?
And the honest answer is, it depends. The framework itself is incredibly secure, but its strength totally relies on developers implementing it correctly. Things like always using secure HTTPS connections and properly protecting those access tokens once they have them, those things are absolutely critical. A poorly configured system can still have holes, so a lot of the responsibility really falls on the app developers to build it right.
Now, here is a really subtle but super important distinction to understand. Technically, OAuth is an authorization protocol. Its main job is to grant permissions, figuring out what an app is allowed to do. It's not strictly for authentication, which is all about proving who you are. Now, it's often used as part of a login process, but its real core job is managing those permissions.
So, if we go back to our analogy one last time, we've established that OAuth is that secure temporary keycard. It answers the question, what are you allowed to do? But that leaves us with one final, fascinating question. What technology acts as your digital passport, the thing that proves definitively who you are? Well, we'll have to save that one for the next explainer. Thanks for watching.